Hello and welcome to another edition of SPS Spotlight. I'm your host, Azell Cavaan, Chief Communications Officer for Springfield Public Schools. Thanks for being with us today. Today we are joined by Matt Grimes. Hey Matt, how are you?
I'm good, Azell, how are you?
Good, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Matt, you have a long title, so I think instead of saying your title, I'm just going to give our audience a brief description of what you do.
Sure.
And then we'll go into it.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Matt works in the Department of Human Resources. He is an administrator there, and he is charged with acquisitioning talent,
yes,
which means hiring new people to come into our school district to work as teachers. Diversity, which means ensuring that that teacher pool is diverse and representative of the community which we serve.
Right.
And inclusion, which means not only do we have a diverse teacher pool, but those who are part of it feel included and welcomed into the system.
Correct.
So that's what you do.
Yes.
That's a long
Big
title,
task.
yes.
It is.
And you have been with us since May.
Yes, since the start of the summer.
And actually the position that that you now have was a little more bare-boned before you came on, right?
It was focused mostly just on recruitment and in making sure that all of our schools were staffed. But we've realized over the past few years with diversity and the importance of having teachers that reflect the demographics of students, we wanted to be intentional about bringing someone into the role that could help not only recruit teachers, but recruit teachers that are best for students.
So let's talk a little bit about where we are right now as a district. And since your work focuses on diversity and inclusion, let's look at that. Where are we as a district in terms of the diversity of our workforce?
Yeah, so there's a lot of growth. If we look at national trends, diversity is a hot topic in education right now. Nationally, about 80% of our teachers are white. Compared to the large demographic of black and brown students we have in Springfield. So there's a lot of work to be done. Our teacher population right now is much more diverse than the national average and more diverse than the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
So we're ahead of the curve.
We're ahead of the curve, but again, there's still a lot of work to be done.
There's still a lot of work to be done.
Right.
I guess, Matt, the fundamental question is, who cares? Why do we care about, this? When you're talking about teachers, if a teacher is highly qualified, what extra advantages do you have if you consider diversity?
Well, if we look at just some of the common challenges with urban education, we know that when teachers have, students have teachers that look like them, that are diverse, not only do everyone, so it brings up everybody, but students in particular, they benefit. They benefit academically, they benefit behaviorally. And so we care because we want to make sure that all students have the opportunity to an excellent education. This is just one step to getting us there.
So I know that nationally, the number of high school graduates going on to college to become teachers is low.
It's very low.
It's not a very popular field, unfortunately, that students are entering now. So that means you don't have a large pool to choose from, race aside. But then when you add diversity into it, it becomes an even smaller pool.
This is true.
So how on earth are you and we as a district addressing that? What strategies are we using?
So we're trying to be really intentional. There's a report recently by the NEA, the National Education Association, with some of these bare-bones strategies to help recruit a more diverse teaching workforce. So some of the things, if I think about it in 3 different buckets, the one is just that boots on the ground recruitment. So we're visiting college fairs, we're outreaching the community, both locally and nationally, to try to find the highly qualified, effective educators for our students. We're also intentional about grow your own programs. So we have people in our buildings already who love and care for our students.
Oh, many.
Our paraprofessionals, our tutors. So how can we provide opportunities and a menu of opportunities for our paraprofessionals and support staff who do wish to become teachers? How can we support them? And that may be with testing vouchers or helping them with tuition. And then the third bucket is really our students. We know that our students are diverse and wonderful, so we want to create pathways for them to become teachers. So we have a partnership with Westfield State University, the Reach to Teach. And if students enroll in Westfield State and successfully graduate, we'll bring them back to the district to become the next generation of leaders for our kids.
So I think I'm hearing like a 3-pronged approach.
Right.
One is to just get out there and recruit those people who are graduating to become teachers and try to get them to come here to Springfield.
Absolutely.
The other one is working with our existing teachers who have or paraprofessionals or educators who have room to grow into the position
Right.
of teacher,
Yeah.
and helping them with the education and then all of the testing that comes along with that.
Sure.
And then lastly is looking at our students and trying to impact their decision to become teachers right in the district where they went to school.
Right, we want them to come back, absolutely.
How is it working so far?
You know, we're seeing a lot of growth. Just this past school year for 2019-2020, we had 39 paraprofessionals become teachers.
That's great.
Yeah, that's double
That's
the
a
amount
lot, yes.
from last year. And again, we're revamping. We just signed some new MOUs, memorandums of understandings with local university partners. We're working with an organization, Paradigm Shift, who's helping support that work. And again, trying to expand the effort for our students to become teachers if they so choose.
So with those 39 paraprofessionals, the first thing you mentioned, are they already in the classroom as teachers or are they going through the process?
They're already in the classroom. Yeah, as
That's
full-time
excellent.
teachers, absolutely.
Well,
Yeah.
I would love to meet some of them.
Yes.
We should probably go out and do some interviews with them.
Yeah, maybe bring them in.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. So we're making progress. There's a lot more work to do. What are our next steps?
So I think once we focus on recruitment and the plan that we have to bring people in, I think retention is the next huge piece. So once we bring folks into the district, how do we keep them? We know that education is competitive. We know that education is shortcoming. And looking at the baby boom generation that's retiring, how can we make sure that Springfield is the most desirable place to work? How can we ensure that if teachers are coming, we provide ample opportunities for professional development, for growth? We see ourselves as a career ladder organization.
Right.
So we want our teachers to teach for many years, but if they desire to become leaders, instructional leaders, principals, assistant principals, we want to make sure we're providing those pathways as well.
Excellent. Personally speaking, I love coming to work every day, and
Yeah.
it's because of the students, and it's also because of the staff. We do have a wonderful staff. Just the love that they really do have for the students and the connections that are made.
Right.
It's really heartwarming when you go into the classrooms and you see those relationships.
Right, and those are the people that we're looking for, and I think the reason that we're so intentional about diversity and inclusion and working with our paraprofessionals and our students, because we know these people love our kids, and we want to give our kids everything that they deserve to be successful.
Excellent. Well,
Yeah.
we're so happy to have you on board.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
You have a huge charge ahead of you. Do you have a staff? What is your support system?
So I'm working with a number of different departments, especially my colleagues in the Human Resource Department, working with educator development, your office and communications, and just trying to get the word out there. So I imagine it's going to keep growing. But right now, again, it's not just me, it's a community-based approach.
Excellent,
We're working
yeah.
with the school committee, with administration, to think about how we can find, attract, and retain, again, the most highly effective, diverse educators for our students.
So if there's somebody who's watching this right now who never really gave teaching a second thought, or just something has sparked with them in listening to this, how would they learn more about becoming a teacher in Springfield Public Schools?
I would say the first step is to visit our website, www.springfieldpublicschools.com, and look at our talent acquisition page to see some of those pathways and opportunities. You can always call the Human Resource Department as well, or just stop into our central office downtown.
Excellent. I always give this example because our assistant superintendent, Lydia Martinez, began as a teacher.
Right.
Our superintendent began as a substitute teacher. So you talk about pathways for leadership and moving up, it definitely does exist.
That it does, yeah.
So thank you, Matt.
Thanks so much,
for
Azell.
joining us. We
Yes.
talked about a real heavy subject, but it gives me hope that we're really moving in the right direction. And of course, the most important thing is to have a teacher in front of the students who is highly qualified and who loves and who cares for the student.
Absolutely.
Good.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in to another episode of SPS Spotlight. I hope you learned a little bit about the recruitment strategies that we're using here at Springfield Public Schools to bring the best and the brightest teachers in front of our students every day in our classrooms across the district. My name's Azell Cavaan, and please stay tuned for another SPS Spotlight coming soon.